Welcome back. Still feeling motivated? I know I am. This is fun stuff. Let's continue on and take a look at the factors and things that go into motivation, or at least what psychologists tell us. Let's talk about individual needs. This kind of goes back again to Maslow, who had the hierarchy of needs. Right? In practice, if we go from theory to practice, people have a need for achievement. People want to do better. People want to improve. And as part of the achievement, they want visible recognition. They don't want you just to say, oh, hey, good job, and pat them on the back. They want their coworkers to recognize that achievement. They want visible recognition. They want to be able to go home and tell people that they've achieved something or have done a good job. Ways that you can do that are through things like just recognizing somebody in public in front of their peers. You can give plaques. You can give different titles. You can give a preferred parking spot. Those sorts of things. People also want affiliation. They want to belong to groups. Social. That goes back again to Maslow's social needs. All these things kind of, if you squint a little bit, kind of can map into Maslow. And there's people who want power. Just some people who are crazy power hungry, Machiavellian. They want to control people. In the extreme that this can be a very destructive kind of management style. Because why? You're not listening to your people. You're not incorporating them. They're not motivating them. As a manager, not a good thing. Now, a theory that I like is the expectation theory. You'll also hear this called expectancy theory. And take a look down below. It's kind of the effort, performance, outcomes thing. The idea here is that how much work we're going to put in depends upon our expectations of what we're going to get out of it. So let's take a look at the effort. The effort we put in might be, I'm going to work weekends for the next 2 months. Okay, that's the effort. What are the different performances that I could get? Well, I might complete the project. I might complete the project and add a new customer. Maybe I don't complete the project. That could be another outcome. And maybe I just really lose other customers. We lose money. So there's a range of performances that can result. And for each of those performances, there could be different outcomes. Suppose I complete the project. Well, maybe I complete the project, I get a raise. Maybe I complete the project, I get a promotion. Maybe I complete the project and I get nothing. Maybe I fail on the project and I get nothing, or maybe I fail and I get fired. Right? So we have a range of, I put in some effort, I have lots of different performances that can happen, and then I have for each of those performances different outcomes that may result. And for each of those outcomes, the promotion, the raise, the getting fired, there's this fancy word called a valence. That just means how much I value a promotion, a raise, or getting fired. Don't value getting fired too much. Now, don't be put off by the 0 to 1 things that are on these charts. That's just, again, the psychology people doing the PhD stuff. But the idea, if you just step back from this, is people are motivated to do some effort, put in work based upon what they rationally believe the outcome is going to be and how much they value that. If I think I do this and I can get promoted, that's what probably will happen. I'm going to get motivated. If I put in all this work and nothing's going to happen, I'm probably not going to get motivated. Oh, I can give you a good example. I was asked once to do a survey for the college. And I did. I surveyed all the students, surveyed all the faculty, did all this stuff. I thought, oh boy, this is going to get incorporated. They're going to do stuff. Wasn't used at all. It was ignored. Really? So the next time they asked me to do something, there was this project they wanted me to do. I thought, I'm going to put in all this work and nothing's going to come of it. So I'm not motivated. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Porter Lawler. We don't care too much about this. Oh, you should know, though, extrinsic and intrinsic rewards. Extrinsic rewards are external. Pay, promotion, recognition, those sorts of things. Intrinsic rewards are internal things. You're driven by yourself. Right? Your self-esteem, for example, is a good one. Another good theory is equity theory. Now, we have different theories because not one theory necessarily explains everything. Equity theory is the idea that we compare our treatment with other people's treatment. So, for example, if I work weekends the next month and you work weekends the next month, and I get $50 bonus and you get a $500 bonus, I'm not going to be happy. I compare the output versus the input that I put in. And they don't have to be exactly the same. Maybe I get a $500 raise and you get a day off. Well, okay, maybe that's fair. But equity theory says I'm going to look at it and make sure that things are fair. And if they're fair, then I'm going to be motivated. Another theory, told you there's a lot of theories, is goal-setting theory. Goal-setting theory has the idea that we set goals and we are driven to meet them. And if we're having goals, hopefully they're going to be SMART goals. We're also going to want to know how difficult the goal is. And that kind of gets into expectation theory, right? How much effort do I need to put in to get that goal that I have? Now, it assumes that behavior is a result of actually setting goals, but I don't think always it is. I don't think we're conscious of it. I think we might have some goals. It might be in the back of our minds, maybe, but it's not clear to me that people actually go about setting goals. Now, sometimes they do, right? I have a goal to get promoted. I have a goal to get this job. But I'm not sure that motivates us in all the things that we do. Now, part of motivation means we have, as a manager, we have to direct our people in certain directions. And how do we change their behavior? Well, one way is positive reinforcement. We give awards, recognition, those sorts of things. See something good, we reward it. On the other hand, if we see something we don't like, we might do negative reinforcement, right? Punishment kinds of things. Now, there's two ways to do these things. You can give them on a regular way, right? So I give positive reinforcement every time somebody does something good. Turns out psychologists have found that what's called a variable ratio schedule is very powerful. And that is, I don't give out rewards all the time, but I give them out sort of randomly. I mean, not random to people who don't deserve them, but if you do a great job, maybe sometimes you don't get a positive reinforcement, but then you might. I think it's the kind of the anticipation. People work harder to make sure, well, how come I didn't get it this time? But that's a variable ratio schedule. I don't give positive reinforcement all the time. In practice, I think it's a good idea to give people feedback in terms of how they're doing. If they do a good job, you want to reinforce it. If they're not, you want to let them know so that they can correct themselves. I would give feedback all the time. You can argue whether awards and stuff like that are good and on what ratio. But I think you need to keep in contact with employees.